You know, we often like to look back on this channel at things that sort of evoke memories, you know, happier times, and you kind of think, oh yes, I remember that. But do you remember, if you were living in the United Kingdom, way back around this time in 1955, it was the home of commercial television. It was just starting up. And this particular ad won a lottery out of 23 submitted to be the very first ad on commercial television. That's right, it was Gibbs SR, and that really broke the mold because apparently more people spoke about this ad than the actual TV shows. It was all part of a variety show which was hosted by Jack Jackson, and I think what's interesting here is it just proved at that point how powerful advertising could be. So I thought we'd start to take a look at some of the big ads that went round the world in various guises, but sometimes started over here in the United Kingdom. Now, one that's very close to my heart, which I didn't realise, was this. Now, way back in the middle 50s, this particular glove puppet, Sooty, was responsible for seeing, well, this particular cube, OXO, skyrocket in sales. That's right, they signed up Harry Corbett and Sooty, the glove puppet, to help sort of advertise the OXO cube. This was really a drive when people were struggling with the cost of living crisis. Sounds familiar, right? And it sort of gave a meaty flavour to your potatoes and veg if you didn't have enough meat and all that sort of stuff. Now they thought, well, this is a really fun idea because children love the glove puppet. And more importantly, of course, if the glove puppet could sell it to the children might sort of pester the mum, the dad, and whoever was out shopping. It was so successful, let me tell you. Now, I was lucky enough to work with Sooty on a number of occasions, and so was the brilliant comedian Alan Scott. But Sooty, you know, let me tell you, really started life out way back in 1948 on Blackpool North Pier, because the maker, the creator, Harry Corbett, basically thought, well, I need something to entertain my children, and he saw this glove puppet in the sort of novelty shop window on the pier, bought it, and then realised he was onto something because other children were gathering around. Very quickly he got his own BBC TV series, and then that truly escalated into a worldwide brand which is still running very much so today. Sooty's still touring and still in panto and still making TV all these years on. But it's interesting to note, isn't it, that even way back in the 1950s, at the very start of the commercial world, Sooty could really help sell OXO. And as ever, perhaps we could need him back in these very strict cost of living crisis times. I'm jesting not, of course. As ever, I'd love to know what you think to these particular stories in the comments below. Do you remember an ad that really stuck with you more than ever? You know, I remember, I'll just throw this out there so people, you know, get in the groove for this. I remember as a kid seeing for the very first time the bra ad, I think it was Gossard, by of course the Hollywood superstar Jane Russell. And I thought this was really strange, but of course now I realise, being older, if you pay somebody enough, they will literally do anything. Now apparently Sooty, the OXO cube ad, really wasn't that well paid. They got paid £10 and a year's supply of OXO. Of course they kept recommissioning them, but according to Harry Corbett, it never actually really went up that much. It's a good job that Sooty remained silent, or else he could have complained about his dire fee, don't you think? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.